Now on CoastTV News.
Tonight, the Ocean City Council will reveal whether a petition challenging the town's rental moratorium has enough signatures to move forward.
More qualifications for electric work, what one Delaware board is working on, and why some business owners are calling it a money grab.
The search for Nancy Guthrie nearing 3 weeks, why investigators claim they're making progress.
And we have concerns for dense fog kicking in again for tonight, going into tomorrow morning. But there's another twist to the forecast on the way as well.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
These homes in Ocean City could apply to get a rental license as early as tomorrow, but it depends on tonight. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Christina DeRobertis. We begin with the latest attempt to overturn town rental regulations.
There's currently a moratorium in place in Ocean City restricting new short-term rental licenses in residential areas and mobile home communities. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe shows us what changes could come after tonight's meeting.
Tammy Johnson is one of the many homeowners who knocked on doors and helped collect the 1,257 signatures submitted to the Ocean City Council. The petition seeks a referendum on a short-term rental regulation that was passed in December. And tonight, the town will announce whether the required 990 valid signatures were met. Johnson believes it'll go in their favor.
I really feel that we have done our due diligence and shown that the people have spoken.
The town will reveal the results of the petition, which challenges the decision to extend the moratorium on short-term rental licenses in residential areas and mobile home communities by 1 year. As the council continued to review proposed regulations, some believe no new rules should go into effect, while others disagree. We've spoken with other homeowners in residential areas and mobile home communities who told Coast TV that they prefer these regulations to continue, saying they've experienced problem renters before. If the petition is declared successful, the moratorium will be suspended until voters decide. The council and mayor then have the option to hold a special election or place the referendum question on the ballot during the next scheduled election. Johnson believes another option may be on the table.
I think the council is going to drop it altogether if it does go to a special election.
Tuesday's announcement will determine whether the moratorium remains in place or not. I'm Kevin Zappe, Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Now, you may remember this same issue happened last year with different proposed rental rules, which would have required a minimum 5-night stay for short-term rentals. That's in residential neighborhoods and mobile home communities starting in 2025. And that would increase to 31 nights by 2027. That petition ultimately led to a special election in July, and the rules were overturned by voters. People who pay low voltage electrical cables who lay those cables could have to acquire a state license in the future. Delaware's Electrical Examiner Board looking at new rules that would require people who install low voltage to be licensed. Under 50-volt projects are likely things like TV wiring, security systems, and home phone wiring. Some business owners that do that every day say the rule would raise expenses and lower the number of people who would be legally able to do the jobs. Coast TV reporter Brandon Ferguson joins us live in Milton now. Brandon, business owners say the new rule could hurt them.
Christina, Mark Jackson owns Mid-South Audio and mostly deals with projects under 50 volts. Jackson says if a license is needed in the future to do work under 50 volts, that it will cost everyone time and money. But the board says this will promote safety and standard throughout the state of Delaware. Critics say this will impact thousands of jobs and hurt small business. Board members are still determining the exact details on the new rule, like whether everything would need licensing and inspecting, and if licenses would be required for each business or just each employee. One audio installer says in 30 years on the job, he has never experienced one safety problem from sub-50 volt work.
Just like a money grab. They're just looking for another way, something else to regulate. We'd like to get away from that. We follow the standards, and so do the rest of our colleagues that were here today.
The board is considering a subcommittee to hone in on the details, though nothing was finalized. In the meantime, businesses like this one are waiting on a decision that could cost them thousands. Live in Milton, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
The Olympics can only be watched here on Coast TV, so we are keeping track of the medal count so far. Norway is in the lead still, has been like the whole games. 31 medals in total. Italy, though, with its best performance ever in the Winter Olympics. U.S. in third, 21 total medals.
This does bring us to our Coast TV poll tonight. We're asking, which winter sport should Delmarva try more?
I like this one. Let's take a look at the results. 51% say curling, which actually there is a place in Easton where you can go curling. 35% say ice skating, 3% say ski trips, 11% say snowboarding.
Snowboarding might be kind of hard with the lack of hills.
Yeah, I think you'd have to go somewhere to do that for sure. So.
Yes, so. But don't forget, the Winter Olympics run until February 22nd. You can only watch here on Coast TV.
And a programming note for you, due to the Olympics until the 20th, which is this Friday at 7:30. You'll watch Jeopardy on Fox 21. Regular time, same show, everything, just different channel during the Olympics.
Now we're looking live outside into Ocean City, looking a bit gloomy out there. Let's check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams, on the forecast.
Right now we're at 42 degrees in Milford with the winds pushing primarily out to the north. We'll drop down to 39 degrees, partly cloudy skies throughout the rest of the evening. Now, we are getting progressively warmer. We're 3 to 5 degrees warmer now than we were 24 hours ago, so we're trending in the right direction as far as the temperatures are concerned. We warmed to 42 degrees in Georgetown, 45 in Salisbury, 43 for the high in Ocean City. Now, what we have on the docket for tonight that is of immediate concern, dense fog actually. That's going to kick in after about 10 o'clock and last going into Wednesday, possibly as far as the ocean of the water is concerned till the evening time. Now, we have the dense fog advisory for the inland areas of Seaford, Greenwood, Georgetown, Lewis, Erin Landing, Gumboro, Millsboro, Delmar. That's going to be in effect until tomorrow mid-morning. Coming up, we'll talk more about even warmer weather that's on the way.
The search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie is now in its 17th day. Tens of thousands of calls are coming in.
As NBC's Jennifer Bjorklund reports, there have still been no arrests and no person or persons of interest named publicly.
The DNA results are back on the glove found just a couple miles from Nancy Guthrie's house, but unfortunately no hits in the federal database. While that glove DNA may have gone nowhere, investigators are running down the tens of thousands of other tips, including other DNA evidence found at the house and locating Guthrie's pacemaker.
Real investigators don't chase assumptions, they eliminate them. And these are the kind of things that are going to break this case wide open.
Monday, the sheriff officially ruled out Guthrie family members and spouses, some of whom have been the target of internet rumors. On Sunday, Savannah Guthrie posted a video to Instagram reaching out to the person or persons who may have taken her mother.
It's never too late.
Opening a line of communication with the captors.
It is so important that the captor doesn't just think of this person as a paycheck.
Investigators are focused on the man who disrupted Guthrie's doorbell video the morning she disappeared. His backpack sold exclusively at Walmart, and his clothes may be from there too.
It's outstanding that they've identified a primary store where that has come from, because that gives you an investigative path that you can now follow.
Officers also are canvassing gun stores, searching for people who may have bought a particular gun holster, working with tech companies to recover more videos from cameras around the Guthrie house. Experts say just because there hasn't been an arrest or new details, that does not mean investigators are stumped.
They have a lot to work on here. It's still fresh. It's only 2 weeks. It feels like 2 years because we're all agonizing for Nancy, but it's still pretty fresh.
And there is plenty of hard, tedious investigative work going on behind the scenes that we don't see. And because any little bit could be part of a bigger investigative puzzle, investigators are hoping anyone with any information will call in with what might have happened to Nancy Guthrie. In Tucson, Arizona, Jennifer Bjorklund, NBC News.
Ocean City weighing decisions for a sports complex, a breakdown of the funding.
A newly issued dense fog advisory has been issued for Ocean City down towards Chincoteague, so we're going to be dealing with just how obscure our vision is going to be.
But first, Jesse Jackson passes away. A look at his life up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
Measure human rights by one yardstick.
Jesse Jackson was never elected president, but he may have paved the way for someone that was.
We must have democracy and adequate representation. With a man our share.
The South Carolina native was in college when he became involved in civil rights. He joined the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, or SCLC, which was led by Martin Luther King Jr. With King, he was part of the Selma to Montgomery marches, and he was in Memphis when King was gunned down in 1968.
I dashed to the steps, and there's a picture of Anthony Young and I pointing in this direction because when the bullet came from here, not from there.
After a career as an activist, in 1983, Jackson entered politics.
I am somebody.
He announced he would run for the Democratic nomination for president, just the second African American to do so.
I challenge you to join that coalition, become a part of this new broad-based drive to progressive change in our nation.
Pundits didn't take him seriously, but many voters did. Jackson won more than 18% of the vote. 4 years later, he made another run for the White House. This time, he won 11 contests, but again, fell short of the nomination.
And you can't thank the Lord for the food that you're about to receive if it's not there for you to receive.
While he never ran for president again, he remained active, and in November of 2008, he was in Chicago, and Barack Obama became the first African American elected president. 5 years later, scandal rocked Jackson's family. His son, Jesse Jackson Jr., pled guilty to wire and mail fraud charges and served time in a federal prison. But the personal setbacks did not stop Jackson.
Will we go backwards by fear and hate or forward by hope and healing? We must make a choice.
He never stopped his fight for social justice. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
An abundance of moisture is what we're dealing with right now as the dew point temperature and air temperature stay really close to one another, and that's perfect breeding ground for some dense fog. Take a look at this, for example. In Rehoboth, we're at 35 degrees, but the dew point temperature is 33. That's creeping up very close into the 80 to 90, almost 100% relative humidity, and that's what happens when you have the dew point temperature and air temperature so close and nestled close to each other. By the way, the winds are coming out of the southeast at about 4 miles per hour for Rehoboth. We're going to stay in the mid to lower 30s throughout most of the rest of the evening. Now, we do have dense fog advisories. Some of them just been issued a few moments ago. Some have been enacted since yesterday for places like Trapp, Cambridge area, Preston, as well as Easton. But also it's inclusive of Laurel, Bryan Store, Georgetown, Drawbridge, Holyville, Long Neck, as well as Ocean View, Fenwick Island, Rehoboth, and Lewis. But then we also had a newly issued dense fog advisory that just kicked in for Ocean City down towards Chincoteague, meaning that visibility is dropping down to a quarter of an inch in some areas, and even possibly down to zero before it's all said and done. So we want to be mindful and watchful of that. This is the Happy Lunar New Year. By the way, this is the year of the horse, actually. So 2026, so what are we expecting? Well, we're looking for it to stay a bit cloudy for us for the rest of the afternoon. You spin the wheel till about 10 o'clock, still staying cloudy with temperatures in the upper 30s. Happy Lunar New Year to one and all. Overnight, we drop back to 42. And here's a look at the dense fog. Our latest run is indicating that the fog's going to really hover right over the beaches, and then we start getting an invasion coming in out of the southwest along Highway 13, particularly near Delmar, Seaford, and towards Shelbyville and Millsboro. We'll keep a close eye on that. Our temperature trend, we're going to continue to trend above the norm big time for the next few days until we get to the upcoming weekend. Now, what you'll notice is that we have that moisture that's building. By 6 o'clock Wednesday, we're looking for widespread scattered showers. Temperatures are way above freezing, so we're not concerned about ice or snow or anything like that here. But we will get a chance to see some spotty showers kick in for Thursday, going into Friday, Saturday, and another round, possibly Sunday going to Monday, where it could transition for us. You see, Thursday, we see it's just straight rain, right? Then we go into Saturday, we get cooler air coming in from the north, but then we get the backside of a frontal boundary, of a low pressure system that could drag a little bit in the way of snowflakes our way. Here's a look at your extended forecast. Ash Wednesday looking cloudy, but warm and mild. However, we got a little rain Sunday night going into Monday. Now, Sunday going into Monday, that's what we're going to keep a close eye on because the colder air Arctic air is going to begin to kick in, and as it filters close to us, if the precipitation is still around, we will catch a few flurries or two.
On the Delmarva Sports Network at 5:30, Parkside takes Wicomico in boys basketball, then the final score at 10:30. On DSN Plus at 5:30, CSD at Kent Island, 6 o'clock, Cape Henlopen Polytech. Ocean City leaders are weighing a key funding step for a proposed sports complex. The plan would allow some hotel and tourism money to go to the project, which advocates say that complex would only benefit the area.
You see lots of volleyball groups and soccer groups and lacrosse tournaments. That's all sports tourism. So we have to do everything we can to make sure that we keep that business coming here.
The council takes up that proposal tonight.
In Delmar, check this out. A car rolls over on Route 13. This happened Sunday night. The driver was taken to the hospital. Delmar firefighters reported she had minor injuries. Troopers say the driver was charged.
A live look outside into Laurel, kind of a gloomy evening. One more check on your forecast after this. Thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
You can find more news and local weather on our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll be back later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.